give it all. All that I got will never stop. I give it all. Straight to the top, will never stop. I give it all. All that I have, I let it be. Cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. Yeah, all that I got, I give it everything. They lost the plot, they think I'm menacing. They wanna talk, but I ain't settling. Circle is tight, feeling like better rains. Whole lot of globetrotter, man, they don't know nada. Bro, gotta show something to me and go harder. So proper, nah, not that, we sure gotta give it all raw now, like Don Dallas. All that I got will never stop. I give it all. Straight to the top, will never fly. I give it all. They want me rock, I never blow. I give it all. Whoa, what you say, my man? Give it all. Whoa, hey, give it all, give it all. Whoa, yeah, stand tall, give it all. All that I have, I let it be. Cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. What do you think when people look at me? 100 degrees tougher than Booker T. Couldn't agree more, but could it be? I think higher than them all. Truthfully, my pen fire and then some. A body addendum. Take this whole thing for ransom. Give it all I got for attention. Not a mention of life well lived, for instance. Give it all.
Battle the kid is white flags. Not on my level where I stand. Got it, I'm shooting a hot hand. Out of the gym, I was locked out. I failed, the kid was a dropout. I changed the game and it's up now. The city, they need me, it's clear now. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the
Sandman, I can tap dance through the energy blast. Run flat, never pop your orbit. I keep energy in storage. I see spinning the globe, my fingertip itch. If I could pluck the earthquake hit, look at the wrist, look at your body, I shake it and shift.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
more than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Danville football on the OH Report.
Sorry about the audio there, folks. 4th and 1 as we get things settled. The timeout there as Danville leads 8-0 over Worthington Christian.
Well, Danville scored quickly 8-0, and they just ran it down the throat of Worthington Christian and were able to pound it in. Worthington Christian trying to figure out what they need to do on offense and defense. Haven't thrown the ball a lot, trying to set up the pass with the run. But Danville currently in control. But it's 4th and 1, Worthington Christian. This is a huge pickup for them if they can get it. We'll see what they can do. They'll have 3 out to the right. Motion man, a quarterback in the shotgun formation. Comes to the right of the hip. And they'll go for the pass. That was just a little bit too far over. And it looked like it wouldn't have even gotten there if it did. There's no opportunity for Wesley to make that catch. Jacob Corbin had no opportunity, and they were all over him. And that'll be a turnover on downs. They got it right at the 38-yard line for Danville, and we'll see if they go back to the run. A couple of huge pickups, run of 6 and then a run of 11. And then the Wildcat with Jacob Hackman was able to get to the corner and then eventually get all the way into the end zone. Worthington Christian running a 3-5-3. They have 5 in the middle. But if you could get past that second level, it's all open air. Well, we'll see what Danville can do on their second drive. Worthington Christian will load the box, try to stop the run at all costs. And a Wildcat. Hackman will cut to the outside, get about 5 yards, and beautiful play. The pocket collapsed, but Hackman read it perfectly.
Continuing that patented brand of Danville football, putting it on the ground any means necessary.
And that's exactly what you want to do if you're Danville. You know Worthington Christian has struggled with the pass, but you're a running team, so you're not going to try to compensate for their lack of defense. You're going to do the bread and butter that has worked so well for them, especially last season, averaged over 43 points a game. And this is a team that went 14-1, lost in the regional final. This Danville team has a very competent backfield.
Now Hackman rolling out, looking to pass, finds a receiver, looks like that's number 0. They continue to push down the field at an extraordinary pace.
And a great job by Josh Myers, and the quarterback, Jacob Hammond, just floats it over the defender, breaks a tackle, runs it upfield, and the chains are moving.
Well, I mean, that even had me thinking, because there are 2 receivers in the vicinity of that one, and I thought, oh gosh, it's an overthrow, but there's a receiver right behind him.
And it worked out beautifully for Danville. Now you're right at the 30-yard line.
Now Hackman with 3 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left, finds the one on the left. Tight end, breaks a tackle, and is pushed out of bounds right around, looks to be the 24-yard line as the tempo continues.
Well, I talked about Danville didn't need to compensate for Worthington Christian's lack of corners and being able to stop the pass, but they're doing it quite well here. Just a little dink and dunk, some quick receiver or tight end screens, and it's worked wonders so far for the Blue Devils.
So threatening to bust into the red zone, or perhaps they are. Aiden Burke puts his head down, takes it right up the middle, and is brought down just short of the goal line. They are within striking distance.
And again, it's getting to that second level. He gets past the first 3. Worthington Christian try to bring a little bit of pressure, gets past them, then they're into the second level, make a tackle right at the 1, but they're in a threatening distance.
Hackman under center. QB sneak tries to take it himself, gets pushed outside, having trouble making any ground, brought down right around the 1-yard line.
See the whistles blowing. It looked like it might have been a loss of 1. A good job by Worthington Christian. They saw that the quarterback run was coming, maybe a dive, try to get in the end zone. They pushed him back. They got a little bit more breathing room.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal. As Coach Bloom relays his message to his guys. The big moment here to make it a 2-score ball game early on in the first quarter. Man wide to his left, 2 men in motion in the slot. The snap, Hackman rolls out to his left, picks up the blocker from Burke, shuffles forward, and he's in for a touchdown.
And just getting in as Hackman, it looked like the Worthington Christian defender might have been able to wrap him up, but he extends the arm. He's right there at the goal line, and it's a touchdown. And quickly, Worthington Christian is down 2 scores.
So here with 2:47 left in the first quarter, Danville on the board once again as Hackman has Burke to his right. He just hands it right off, finds a hole, puts his head down, slides into the end zone for a 2-point conversion, now 16-0. Blue Devils taking the lead over the Warriors. Stay with us.
Defending KMAC champs, play here.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering
Bryce Coder and Micah Flack on the call here at the OH Report. Danville taking a pretty large lead already here with 2:47 left in the first quarter. It's already 16-0 as it has been all Blue Devils so far tonight. And a low kick gets caught up in the grass and slows down, fielded right around the 25-yard line, and a quick wrap up. The Warriors will begin around, looks to be around the 33.
And my question now for Worthington Christian, Bryce, is can they respond? You're down by 2 scores, a little bit over that with the 2-point conversions. But this team got inside the Danville territory. They were at the 40-yard line, was stopped on the 4th and 1. A pass that was a little bit too far out of the hands of Jacob Corbin. And that's a young quarterback for you. So how do you get him to stay focused and make sure he is prepared?
Harding's the 5'10", the 6'1" senior, I'm sorry. Puts the man in motion, 3 wide receivers out for him, and we have a flag. Another false start.
Again, you're in the first week of the season. You got to get these jitters out early in these first couple of weeks, trying to learn a new system under a new coach. And that's something that Worthington Christian will just have to learn to deal with. But in a situation where you're down by 2 scores, that's not something you want to see.
So we'll repeat first down, 1st and 15 this time. This one on the 29 now. Hardings takes a few steps back. Puts a man on his left hip, fakes the handoff, looks to the left, and it's a deep ball. A spectacular catch, but I don't think it's going to be inbounds, and it's not.
And the official will spot him out. That was a great throw by Thomas Hardings. Led his receiver to the sideline, get him in a spot where he can catch it, which is a little bit out of bounds. Couldn't get the toe inside. And that was a good-looking throw by Worthington Christian.
And I mean, a beautiful catch, absolutely smothered on the sidelines. If that would have counted, I mean, that would have been a highlight reel catch.
Yeah, that would have been something you put on the poster, put it in the locker room, hang it up after the week.
Yeah, but instead we'll have 2nd and 15 as the Warriors look for an answer against the stellar Blue Devil defense. They hand it off inside, finds a hole, he's wrapped up. And Josh Byers really blowing that play up just by the fingertips, getting a hold of that runner, as that likely would have been another 5-10 yards at least.
And Josh Byers is the main man of this defense. He runs the middle with the linebackers, but this is the guy who's one of the top key returners. A senior, made 183 tackles a season ago, 16 tackles for loss, was an all KMAC player. He's one of 6 that returned for the Blue Devils.
So 3rd and about 7. As Long in the backfield, who just had the run, picked up about 8 on that one.
Well, Levi Foray is on an island, but the other side are running.
And busts outside, gets the first down in. Moore, he sees daylight. There's only one man between him. It's a race to the finish line, and he's there for a touchdown.
And what did we say at the beginning of the drive, Bryce? You need to respond, and what a way that was to respond. Gabe Long able to get in the end zone, cut to the outside, get to the sideline. No one's there. They were playing man coverage, so you had an island. Everyone's just kind of getting their own guy. Once you break through that level, it's all off to the races.
Just as you were saying, Foray on an island there. He was the last defender there trying to bust his rear end to get up there and meeting just at the goal line. I mean, that was perfectly timed.
That's exactly what Worthington Christian needs to do. Drink a little bit of that Kool-Aid that Danville's been doing, being able to run the ball, and that's what Worthington likes to see.
So now plot thickens 7-16 in this one here with 1:35 left in the first quarter.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Back here with 1:35 left in the first quarter, and Worthington Christian picking up a big long touchdown in the way of a Gabe Long rush. And I mean, we saw just the play before that he has the legs and the power to be able to push through that defensive line, but really opening things up along the sideline.
And that's what you want him to be that anchor point for Worthington Christian. When the quarterback is having some difficulties as a young guy, give it off to the running back, and he produced.
And a roller picked up right around the 10-yard line. He sees daylight along the left side, meets 2 members of the kickoff team, and he's brought down right around the 40. So great field position for the Blue Devils as they look to make this a 2-score game once more.
And that was a great job by Cam Robinson, the receiver for Worthington Christian. Come up to the sideline, made the tackle, not allow him to get any more yards.
31 yards to the 41-yard line.
Now back to the line. It looks like Hackman's going to be alone in the backfield. And ball on the ground. A fumble recovery for Worthington Christian. As things go from bad to worse here at Municipal Stadium for the Blue Devils. Worthington Christian recovering on about the 35-yard line in enemy territory.
And a great job by Worthington Christian. Pop out the ball, you lower the shoulder, lower the helmet, you go straight for the ball, pops it out, didn't have a secure grip on it, and the Worthington Christian Warriors made the exact right play coming off a touchdown.
So now defense back on the field, looks to be a timeout. So a minute 22 left here in the first quarter, 16-7 in favor of the Blue Devils. Ball on the 37, only 37 yards to go for that second score for Worthington Christian if they're able to swing it. And, you know, we were talking about the passing game and certainly have threatened that along the sideline, some long passes, but really it's been the story of the run for Worthington Christian tonight.
And that's exactly where it's been. Gabe Long bounced it out to the outside just a couple minutes ago, got all the way to the sideline, had one man to beat. He did that, and he got into the end zone. Took a little bit of the same medicine that Danville's been drinking. They have that exact same formula, being able to run the ball and get through the middle of the defense, and that's exactly what Worthington Christian did. And now you're in a perfect position, Bryce. If you're Worthington Christian, the crowd's silent, you come off a touchdown, you get the fumble, you have yourself a game.
And I'm sure as a coaching staff for the Blue Devils right now, they've got to just be saying it's a hiccup, right? They felt like they've been cruising early on in this game. They feel like they can still do that. They feel like they're the better football team, right?
And they definitely are the better football team if the past, decade and a half has said anything.
Appears to be another false start.
And again, it is another false start. That's the third false start in this quarter for Worthington Christian, and that one hurts even more than the last two. You're inside the 50, you're at the 40, get backed up 5 yards, and now you have a little bit farther away to go.
In so many of the drives, it feels like because of these false starts, it felt like they've had their back against the wall and they've been pushing up against that. Not really seem like they've been super in control in a lot of these drives. Looks to pass, the left-hander over the middle, hit as he attempts the catch. It's over his head, though, incomplete. That'll bring up second down.
And was looking for his star receiver, Jacob Corbin, and just a little bit overthrown. There was a pocket there. If Thomas Hardings could have found him, that's a huge chunk of yards. Jacob Corbin, talked about him a little bit before the game. This is a guy who is really going to be the anchor of your receivers. Had over 600 yards a year ago, 14 per catch, and 7 touchdowns. He's going to be a huge safety valve for Thomas Harding.
Now with 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, and a man behind him. 2 linebackers in that box, 2 lined up outside. And the pitch out to Long. Cuts inside and is hit for a loss. Danville thinks they've got a hold of this one.
And it doesn't look like they do. The umpire will spot it in favor of Worthington Christian. Well, the question for Worthington Christian is the offensive line. You brought back a huge piece at that center position, Rylan Kirshner. He anchors at that center position, but you have a lot of uncertainties at the guard and left tackles. But we saw that Long could break off a long run, so the blocking has been there, but it's been very spotty throughout.
Such an uphill battle against this tough secondary in the way of Danville, but they found some success just trying to replicate that here with 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Looks to pass, looking towards the end zone. He's past a guy, he gets it by his fingertips, and it's a touchdown, Worthington Christian. What an unbelievable pass and even more unbelievable catch. We'll take another look at that.
And what a play by Thomas Harding. Steps back to make the throw, sees a man streaking down the field, beats his man, and that's the only place you could put it where he was going to make the catch. He extends the arms, dives into the end zone. A beautiful play by your starting quarterback.
With 20 seconds left after the touchdown, we'll line up for a point after. Put him within 2. And that's where they stand. We do have a flag on the play, though.
And it could be false start. Well, if it's on Danville, and it looks like it was, so they're going to decline this. They're going to take the field goal, the extra point. They already have that. And now you're just down by 2.
And within striking distance now, we'll take a quick break. Stay with us for the remaining 20 seconds of this quarter.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
You're watching Danville football on the OH Report.
Bryce Coder, Micah Flack here with the OH Report, joining you for the final 20 seconds of the first quarter. Worthington Christian with the big score as they are only trailing by 2 now in a 16-14 ball game.
And it was a beautiful play by Thomas Harding to his receiver, Cam Robinson, a 47-yard patch dive into the end zone.
As they let that one go out the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Blue Devils will begin. We'll see if they work with the time management or if they will try to quicken things up, go towards the end zone.
Well, the question for Danville is, we talked about this in the pregame show, one of the keys was the veteran leadership for Danville. And these veterans need to be on the sideline, getting these guys high. It's like, hey, it's just the first quarter. We can get through this. We know we're better than this, and we can make sure that does not happen again. Danville looking to try to respond here after Worthington Christian had put something together on offense twice and then made a huge play dipping in the shoulder to get the fumble, which led to that 47-yard touchdown.
And I think you're exactly right on your senior leadership. You rely on them, obviously, for that physical leadership, but also that emotional, that mental leadership in these tough moments, saying, I've been here before. It's been difficult for us before, but we've risen above. We're going over this, guys.
And that's the question for Danville. Do you try to spice it up here? Worthington Christian knows it could be a possible run. They stack the box. They've gotten a lot of QB pressure. Danville's gotten out of it a couple times, but we'll see what Danville goes to here.
The snap, hands it off to Burke. Burke breaks a tackle and is met with force at the 31-yard line, where he's brought down inside Warrior territory. 14 seconds in running here on the clock. We'll see if they try for one more play.
And it doesn't look like they will. Danville's looking at the sideline, going to wind this clock out.
So after one quarter of play, Danville leading this one 16-14. It was all Blue Devils all night, but the Warriors answering and looking to, at the very least, equalize here in the second quarter.
And that's exactly what you want to do. If you're Worthington Christian, just get within striking distance. This was a team that was battered coming into the final 5 minutes of this half. Got another touchdown on a huge run by Gabe Long, and then you get another long touchdown on a throw to Cam Robinson. So you have a lot going for you on both sides of the ball. You got to carry that into the second quarter.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Danville football on the OH Report.
As we join you here for the first play of the second quarter, first down rush by Aiden Burke ends in the gain of a couple.
And Aiden Burke got a couple more on the first. Coming in the second quarter, Worthington Christian only trailing by 2. This was a game last year that they were able to run away with it, the Blue Devils, that was.
And an injury there. Didn't see that one, but being tended to by the trainers as he's back up on his feet. Quick water break, quick instruction break even, as your teammate is helped off the field.
Well, if you're Danville, we kind of mentioned it there. You're up by 2, but Worthington Christian is knocking on the door. The crowd's gotten a little bit quiet here, and this is a crowd that's very rowdy and really supports their team. So if you're Worthington Christian, this is where you want to be. But if you're Danville, you need to punch back a little bit here.
Definitely in need of a statement play. As Hackman looks to work one out. Hands it off. And wrapped up around the head as he's brought down. That was Siren Wallace, the 5'7" freshman, who's making an appearance in this Danville Blue Devil offense. I mean, as a freshman, that's got to be an honor.
Well, if you're the Blue Devils, you know that Aiden Burke is going to get a lot of touches, and there's going to be a lot of wear and tear. That's just how running backs are, especially in a small school like this where you're going to run most of the time. So you need to have 2 good backs, and you need to set that up early in the season. So Kyron Wallace is going to get that opportunity.
Now Hackman with 3 wide receivers to his left. 1 man in the linebacker box as a flag is thrown. And on the 3rd and 8.
Prior to the snap, flag on the play is offside against Worthington Christian.
So a defensive offsides will give them a break as they move up 5 yards. The 25th penalty yard that Worthington Christian has given up tonight, the thorn in their side so far.
And that's a huge penalty. It was 3rd and long, now it's 3rd and short. You can open up the playbook a lot more here. Danville wouldn't be shocked if they run the ball here. It's 4th and 1. They might go for it in their own territory. Set the precedent.
So a big 3rd and short. 1 linebacker in the box as they look to stack the edges. Hackman alone in the backfield, following his blockers on his right, moves forward, gets the first down, and tiptoes out of bounds as he's smashed in the head. And a flag is called. We'll get another look at that one. Jacob Mercer with the smack to Josh Byers.
I'm going to be honest, Bryce. I thought that was a little bit too sudden by the officials. You know, everyone's emotions are high. It's the first week of the season. Worthington Christian gets back into the game. You got a little bit of a push. I didn't see a lot of hard contact on the slap. But, you know, in high school, especially out of bounds, the play is over. That's definitely going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct.
And I think especially the windup is where you go too far. How far he winded back. It's not so much the contact, but the intention there, you know. So he's getting a talking to. We'll see if he has another opportunity to play in this game. I certainly hope he does. I never want to see a student not able to play in the game that they love, but unfortunately that is a step too far.
Oh, it will be an unsportsmanlike conduct. You move up 15 yards, and that's 2 huge penalties against Worthington Christian. You had the offsides, which made it 3rd and short, and then right after that, you had the unsportsmanlike conduct. That puts you inside the 40.
Two men behind him. The pitch following Byers and brought down, pickup of about 3 and bring up 2nd down.
Just trying to follow the lead blocker is Aiden Burke. Not a lot there. Worthington Christian trying to stop the run as much as possible. Want to get back to 3rd and long.
So Mercer back in the game.
I think here on 2nd and 9, you're inside right at the 35. Go for it. Go for a long pass. Kind of do what Worthington Christian did. Open up the playbook. Try to catch him off guard.
So Mercer does make the appearance back in the game as he is blocked. A run up the middle as Josh Byers gets Danville on the board again. So 22-14 now for the Blue Devils. And I mean, that was certainly something they needed on that run. It was something that we've been talking about, the momentum, and this place has certainly erupted in favor of that.
And a great momentum shift and a great misdirection. He thought about handing it off to the tailback on his left, flipped it over, went to his right. Worthington Christian thought he was going to the left, cuts it outside. You're right there. And that's a beautiful play by Josh Byers.
Now for the point after. They love to go for 2. We'll see if that's what they decide here, and indeed it is. One man to his left. A lot of men on the line. Man in motion, fakes the handoff, instead gives it to Burke. Burke has trouble staying on his feet, and not there. So a man down for Worthington Christian. See another one is. Looks like it's number 7, Caleb Holt. Take a look at that one more time. Involved in that tackle and slow to get up after that.
And you hope that he's okay. Caleb Holt is a guy you don't want to lose. Made 25 tackles a season ago, 1 interception. Been a great leader for this Worthington Christian team.
So the injury timeout, both teams on their sidelines. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break after the Blue Devil touchdown and the failed conversion.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
So Caleb Holt making his way over to the Warriors sideline with the assistance of a couple of coaches, but the good news, he was on his own 2 feet, putting weight and pressure on those legs.
That's good to see for Worthington Christian.
So we are getting ready for the kickoff after the Danville score here in the second quarter. 9:36 remaining as Worthington Christian look to get within striking distance once again. They've been explosive with their long plays. There are a couple of them that have ended in touchdowns. Looking to keep that magic going. Fielded right around the 10. Bounces off a tackler and is brought down around the 25, where the Warriors will begin their drive.
Well, you had two very good offensive drives the past couple series. You had the long run by Gabe Long, and then you had the beautiful 42-yard touchdown reception by Cam Robinson. So Worthington Christian in a very good position offensively. Let's see if they can knock on the door again.
Back to the line. Harding's leading his offense. Gabe Long with him in the backfield. Drops back, looks to pass. There's pressure. A bullet of a pass. It's complete, and he's brought down around the 32-yard line. So a healthy gain there of about 7 as that brings up second down.
And a good job by Jacob Corbin. Made a little bit of an aerial grab, kind of bounced out of his hands, then made control, did a little bit of a spin, got past Aiden McKinley, and made a little bit of an uphill battle, but got some yards. And you're now knocking on the door of a first down.
So a little bit of variance. I mean, we've seen the deep pass, but also mixing it up a little bit with some passes over the middle, passes to the slot. That's really been benefiting and bolstering this offense. A handoff to Long. Long wrapped up at the line of scrimmage and brought down. Looks like just shy of the first down marker.
And what's been really good for Worthington Christian outside of that has been their quarterback. The sophomore Thomas Hardings has done a very good job. This guy who didn't get any varsity opportunities a season ago, being behind Hobie Rakes. But now it's his time to shine. Even when the pocket has collapsed in front of him, he's made the right decision, gets it out on time. He's gotten some yards, or he'll throw it away. It's been a lot of poise from the young quarterback.
You love to see that composure from such a young quarterback like that, who's stepping up in a situation that I'm sure he's not super familiar with, right? All of this pressure, all the fans here, as Long spins out of a tackle, but wrapped up by 2 tacklers from the Blue Devils.
And Josh Byers, one of those tacklers, again, mentioned it last season, 183 tackles. He's flown all over the field for the Blue Devils. A good job by Gabe Long, though, to break the initial tackles, but they quickly swarmed on him. And he's trying to get some yards for the Worthington Christian Warriors.
Makes it 2nd and 11 here on the enemy 34 for the Warriors. Snap, looking to his wide receivers on his right to throw over the middle in coverage, and a bunch of tips, but no dice for the Blue Devils, as that was running the risk of being an interception.
And that was a really, really tough play to make. You had Carson Proper and Jacob Hackman as the 2 there to just swat it away. And that, like we mentioned, showed the poise, but he's also showing the youngness of a fresh quarterback who's making his first varsity start. Hardings, that was a really risky play. He saw that the receiver was in front of his man, but quickly was able to get around and swat it away.
Carson Proper with a couple of INTs last year, certainly a dominant presence in the safety position. We saw him come up with a lot of them, but even on the offensive side as a wide receiver last year, he came up with a lot of big key plays for this Blue Devils offense that was so reliant on the rush. Now looking to pass one more time, hit as he throws, and incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down.
And who else but your middle linebacker, one of the key players, Josh Byers. He might have had a little bit of a pocket there if he throws it earlier. Byers kind of makes a diving attempt, just swats it away. That was a beautiful play by Danville. Now you force the punt.
On the 4th and 11 on their own 34. Kicking this one away. 2 men back for the Blue Devils. And has trouble with it. Punter just able to get it away as it's a short punt. Blue Devils calling their guys off as the blockers almost got hit by that one. They'll go ahead and collect it right at the 35. That's where the Blue Devils will begin here on first down.
Blake Miller able to get the snap, just get it away, and it had a lucky Warriors bounce, got past the 40-yard line. And now Danville After a huge stop and then a touchdown before that, you can again extend this game to pass 2 touchdowns. So Worthington Christian struggled a little bit on offense there. Showed a lot of poise, did Hardings, especially on that throw to the sideline, but a little bit of inexperience starting to creep up.
Giving a shout out too to Blake Miller. I don't see him anywhere on the depth chart. I think he's just their punter kicker. That's something only a punter kicker could do, right? Being able to stick with that one throughout the pressure and get that punt away. I don't think you could get that from a position player. As it looks like Burke is wrapped up and brought down.
Well, just get a chunk of yards, get about 2. And now you're 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8. You have plenty of options here. My question for Jacob Hackman, will he eventually step back and pass, or they continue to run? We talked about them passing and opening up the playbook, and then immediately they had a great play by Josh Byers. A little bit of misdirection has been the key.
Hands it off to Burke, who runs to his right, has trouble in the backfield, and he's brought down. He's going to lose at least 5.
That was a great play by Sam Couch, the backup linebacker, able to just get in the gap, make a great play. And they were completely closing off the left side. They saw the handoff. They knew where it was coming. 2 Worthington Christian defenders get by unblocked, and immediately you're right there to make the tackle.
So a big 3rd and 15 for the Blue Devils as they look to get on the board again here with 5:55 in the second quarter. But they've got a long way to go as the defensive line shifts. Handoff from Burke, and that one's blown up right at the line of scrimmage. A pickup of a few.
He had just a few there. It was always going to be a long situation. You probably were always going to try to run it, but now it's 4th down, and you're going to have to punt.
Looks like indeed they will. Nolan Ridgway back to punt for the Blue Devils.
Ridgway, the backup quarterback for the Blue Devils.
Jacob Corbin back to receive this one for Worthington Christian, as it's a good punt, but the guys are right there. No fair catch called as he gets outside. He's got to follow some blockers, but he's got a big pickup on this punt return. Brought down around the 45 in Blue Devil territory.
A good job by Jacob Corbin not to panic. He saw out of the corner of his eye someone was coming right at him. He decides to bounce it to the outside, had some blockers, followed them all the way. That was a good pickup by the Warriors. Looked like it was going to be blown up, but made a lot out of nothing.
4:57 left here in the second quarter. It's been a nice mix for the Warriors offense between the pass and the run, and seeing some success in both so far tonight. Hardings takes the snap, takes it himself towards the line of scrimmage, and wrapped up around the waist. Good job, it looks like, of Blake Colopy, who was right there.
Hardings tried to use the stiff arm, not there, wrapped him up right at the chest, took him out of bounds.
I mean, he knew exactly where he was going and just beat him to the spot. It's like a basketball thing trying to take a charge, right? He was just right there where he wanted to go.
In Danville, that's what you want to see. Under 5 minutes to go. Worthington Christian in a good spot on the field. Don't want to allow them to get anything here. And the best case scenario is you get a 3 and out here. Danville, you go down and score, give Worthington Christian very little time, and then the Warriors decide to receive in the first half, and you would have it in the second. But still plenty of football to go.
3 wide receivers to his left as he puts long in motion, looks to pass. He's got time. Guy on his heels now, not so much. He's got to find room, and he does. A pickup of about 5. So Harding's a good job of staying smart there and keeping his head, not throwing into coverage and just taking it on foot. It'll bring up 3rd down, though.
And he kept looking, doing what a quarterback should do. Okay, my first read's gone, my second read's gone, my third read's gone. Okay, now I'm going to run. And he made the right play.
So with the out of bounds. The clock will stop with 4:41 here left in the second quarter as Hardings makes his way back to the huddle to relay the play. Three low men on that defensive line. It's like 4 defensive backs and 3 linebackers for the Blue Devils. 3 wide receivers as they hand it off to Long. He bounces outside. No, instead Hardings takes it himself. He's close to that first down marker. We'll see what they say.
And it seemed like that was a little bit of miscommunication. You could see he was holding on the ball for a long time, wanted to hand it off to the running back, and didn't end up doing that because he saw someone coming through the gap. And it was the right play to make, but it was a very long one to do.
You're absolutely right in that hesitation. I mean, almost allowed that play to happen because the tackler overran that, looking for the running back, expecting the handoff, instead just pulling back and taking it himself.
And it was a good job by the tackler. He was probably assigned to cover the running back. So he's like, okay, if the running back's going here, I'm going here. And he decided to make that risk and assume that the quarterback wouldn't hand it off. It would have been a good play had the quarterback not kept it. But he did, made the right choice. You get back to about the line of scrimmage. Now you're 4th and 1. They were at this position exactly at the 40-yard line in the first quarter. They tried to do an outside throw that just was past the hands of their star receiver, Jacob Corbin. They have a lot of options here. A timeout called.
And as the play clock ticked down towards 2, they do decide to burn that timeout in a really important situation here, so probably wanting to take that time and think about this one as they go for the 4th and 1.
As we mentioned, you know, with 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock, Danville can get it. They can try to run it a lot, run out the clock. And this might be the last time Worthington Christian touches the ball. They won't get in the second half since they decide to receive. So you want to make this count.
Absolutely, and you know this Blue Devils offense, I mean, if they get the ball back, they're certainly not going to allow the Warriors to touch the ball unless they score themselves.
And they will definitely not do that. And Blue Devils have been very good on the run these past couple of series. Worthington Christian was there a couple times. They've had a lot of misdirection, and that's what the Blue Devils will want to continue to do if they get the ball back.
So 4th and 1, ball on the Blue Devil 36. Warriors in possession, 3:40 remaining here in the second quarter as the Blue Devils lead 22-14. A big opportunity, and everyone in the stadium knows it.
Well, you're going to load the box, 5 on the line. The linebackers are going to come up. They're going to fake it.
And trouble in the backfield as Long is brought down for the turnover on downs. So the Blue Devils defense delivers.
Wesley Payne makes the tackle. The defensive back had 3 interceptions a year ago, cuts to the outside. You do exactly what you need to do. And they were loading the box. They cut to the outside. The linebackers faked. They came in and then pulled out, but they saw the run and went to the left. And that's exactly what you needed. Now the Blue Devils have plenty of time, still 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock to make something happen.
So certainly a lot of room to work with in that backfield as well. So, I mean, really they could go any direction here. The run, the pass, they've got a lot of variance that they can move with. The handoff to Burke. Burke stays on his feet, runs into a man, puts his head down, and picks up a few more yards as he's brought down at the Warrior 32.
And that was a great job by the lead blocker. That was the left tackle, Greg Wilson. He gets the first man, and then the shoe trip was not able to bring down the running back of Aiden Burke. But the left tackle set up that play, allowed him to get a huge chunk of yardage.
And you have to be so sure with your tackling against this Blue Devil offense. I mean, you really have to wrap these guys up, or they do run the risk of busting off another 5-10 yards on you. A flag is thrown. Offsides. It looks like a neutral zone infraction the way it was looking.
And it will be. And that's another massive mistake for Worthington Christian.
Especially as the time continues to tick. I mean, 5 yards, that's a whole nother play that an offense could get to run.
And that's 5 penalties on them. They've had a lot of false starts, and then you have the unsportsmanlike conduct, and now the neutral zone infraction. Just continue to pile these up.
One wide receiver wide. Hackman following Burke, the blocker, and picks up a few, decides to pull back, wrapped up from behind, and is brought down at the 21-yard line. So will be a first down on the pickup of 6.
And just gets there. I thought he might have pulled back, and then they tackle him, and because he was the one who stepped back, it might have not been a first down. But a good job to get the exact yardage you need to move the chains.
2:16 in running. Here remaining in the second quarter, we'll see a 1st and 10. Hackman going under center. 2 men behind him, 2 wide receivers. And a handoff to Burke as he bounces inside, puts his head down, and is brought down at the 12.
Good job by Burke. Pickup of 8 yards. Put your head down, put your shoulders down, barrel through the defense for a good chunk.
And now inside of the Worthington Christian red zone. We've gotten the job done from outside the red zone, but now an opportunity to really pound it down the throat of Worthington Christian.
And there's a minute and a half on the clock. No need to rush this. You still have plenty of time.
And being checked out now, I believe, is Jacob Mercer, and it is. They're having a chat with Mercer over there on the sideline. Instead, he'll have a replacement checking in for him.
It looks like it might have been an equipment thing. Kept checking a little bit on his upper torso. And then can't exactly see from our vantage point all the way across the field. It looked like it was probably a clothing issue.
Handing it off to Burke. Burke sees end zone and stumbles in for 6. The Blue Devils on the board once again here with 1:17 left in the second quarter.
Good job by Burke. Cuts it to the outside. Just 2 defenders to beat. Lowers his shoulder and barrels in for the touchdown.
Taking another look at that one, and originally I thought that one had went to Byers, but instead Burke doing a good job of following the blockers, and then once he saw daylight breaking off on his own run, falling into the end zone for a touchdown. Now 28-14 lead for the Blue Devils. The snap and following, I'll have to see who that is, 66.
In the Wildcat formation, took it under center. The quarterback faked it as if he was looking to pass, run up the middle, and you're in for 2 points.
Blake Colopy ends up converting the 2 points there. So we will take a break. 1:17 remaining here in the second quarter. Stay with us as the Warriors look to equalize this once more.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
So ready to kick things underway with 1:17 remaining here in the second quarter. Blue Devils expanding their lead, now 30-14. Fields it and is drilled as he makes his way across the middle.
Worthington Christian down by 16 points. It's been a lot of momentum shifts so far. Danville had it in the first quarter, especially at that first 5 minutes. We're able to score 2 touchdowns. Then it was Worthington Christian who got within 2. Now it's back to Danville. Worthington Christian, you have 1:10. You're going to have to run a hurry-up offense, but you want to try to at least get in field goal range. Danville has the ball in the second half. If you let them score another touchdown, you're down by 3, and it can get very hard from there.
So limited time, only 71 seconds remaining. Hardings has 2 wide receivers on either side. You get the sense that if anyone's going to air it out on him, it's going to be Worthington Christian, but he shakes and bakes in the backfield. He's in trouble, just going to throw it away towards the sideline, but did have an intended receiver in the way of Jacob Corbin.
And Corbin was in the vicinity. He was coming back to try to help out his quarterback as he was getting outside of the pocket. It was a tough throw to make, but at least it's an incomplete pass. Don't take the sack, don't take the fumble, the intentional grounding. Want to try to limit those as much as possible as you run this hurry-up offense.
And you really get the sense that they're comfortable with Hardings on the run, making these passes as well. I mean, as a quarterback, you've got to feel great about knowing that the offense is designed to give you options. You can take it on foot, you can look for your receiving options, you can let the play develop a little bit, and really excelling at that.
And that's exactly what you want to do, especially if the offensive line collapses. You have to at least understand how to roll out and when to roll out.
Puts a man in motion, looks to pass, and that one behind the receiver as he's hit. That'll bring up 3rd down.
And that was a late throw by the quarterback, Thomas Harding. He saw him streaking over the middle of the field. He threw it just a little bit too late. The defender finally caught up to him, but he had at least a solid 5 or 6 yards on the intermediate throw.
That stops the clock at 59 seconds, 3rd down and 10. Ball on their own 32.
You have to run here. You don't want to give the ball back to Danville, considering what they've done the last 2 series. Danville, you have a timeout here, so you have one to burn if you need to, which I assume they will do. But if you're Worthington Christian, you have to run the ball. Just try to get as much off the clock as possible.
Going with 4 defensive backs, not pressing up, giving those receivers space as they do look to pass. The throw on the zig, and he catches it and is brought down. A spectacular throw.
And a great play by Cam Robinson. We mentioned throwing the ball. Well, we'll just, run the ball. Well, we'll throw the ball instead. And a great play to high point the ball, made the catch, jumps up above the defender. And Cam Robinson, him and Jacob Corbin, 2 of the best receivers on this team.
Absolutely, and we saw it last year. I believe it was Cam, where he was like a comfort receiver. Like, things fall apart, that's the guy you look to, because you know he has a great chance of pulling that one down. As Gabe Long is brought down, 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
That was a good job by Worthington Christian. You want to try to waste a little bit off the clock. You take the run there, see if you can get anything on the ground, take the final timeout. Danville has 2 timeouts to give with 27 seconds, though, 2nd and 7. Probably not going to use them. You could try to, depending on what happens on this play. But it was a good job by Worthington Christian to get the 1st down. And you're in the half of the right. So I was about to say you're in field goal range, but this is, first week of the season. You're in high school. I'm thinking college over here. They probably could make that. If you get an extra yards here, they do have a designated kicker and punter, unlike Danville. So maybe you let them rip. Maybe you give them a 40-yarder. Why not? There's no wind blowing here. The flagpoles stand still. Could see it.
I think here, especially, you're probably going to go with the pass, right? Looking towards the end zone. If you are indeed looking to score, these could, technically be burn plays working towards that first down. So perhaps we'll see a deep pass here. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Any pass here has to get out of bounds. If you run it, you're going to try to spike it. You got to hurry up to the line.
2nd and 7, 26 seconds in running as he's wrapped up and brought down. It's a sack in the backfield.
Great sack. Now you got to hurry up if you're Worthington Christian. Get to the line quickly here. And that they do. We got 15 seconds on the clock. They're right under the ball.
Ashton Spalding there with the sack. We're back on the live camera as they spike it.
And that's what they need to do. Spike it there. That's a huge sack. Now you're at the 50-yard line. You're just going to air it out. You have 7 seconds here. Try to let Hastings do what he needs to do and air it out.
That'll bring up 4th down. 4th and 12 on the 49.
Maybe if you're lucky, you can get a pass outside or just a quick dink and dunk, but you have to get to the sideline. If you don't get to the sidelines, you're going to halftime. There's no way you're going to get up to the ball in time. But you have a lot to think about here, especially if you're Danville.
As Danville does, I believe, burns a timeout as Worthington Christian was out. They now have 1 timeout remaining.
And there's a difference between being smart and being reckless. You want to be smart with if you're Worthington Christian, but you also have to be a little reckless. You just want to air it out here. So you got to find that fine balance. And you don't want to let Danville get an interception, and this is a very good defense. They could return it all the way. You want to just get out of this half.
Only 7 seconds remaining in the quarter, so likely will be the last play, and really wanting to think this one through as the momentum really does decide so much. I had a color commentator last year who always talked about that middle 8 and the importance of the middle 8 minutes, the last 4 minutes of the second quarter and the first 4 minutes of the third quarter, how that really sets the tone for the rest of the ball game. Speaking of which, our friend Peyton Vanderkoy over at Mount Vernon coaching football, we're very happy for him to see him doing so well over there. So 7 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 4th and 12, looking to pass, steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle. It's going to be intercepted with 1 second remaining. We'll see who that was. I think that was Carson Proper on the interception. And indeed it was. Proper, the 6'1" junior with 56 tackles last year, and that's where we will end here in the second quarter. Stay with us for the halftime show.
License plate HYP 4622. And the second is a Ford Bronco dealer plate 036.
Defending KMAC champs, play here.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
here it stays. How we picture being on the field with you. Our twirlers are going to spin you away with Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. The Blue Devil Band is addicted to playing and dancing for you. Please enjoy as we jam out to Toxic by Britney Spears.
My son was in 4-H. He was trying to roll out, and my son was there.
facility. It's gorgeous. That school is really nice. They got really nice.
Killbuck Savings Bank. It's community banking. It's what we do. It's who we are every single day.
So basically, the honorees and
Committed. Knox Public Health, committed to the health of the community by promoting healthy lifestyles, preventing illnesses, and protecting the community. The Killbuck Savings Bank, community banking, it's what we do, it's who we are every single day. Crown, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Dublin. Some want it to happen, some wish it would happen, but Crown makes it happen. Bottleneck Bar Grill, family owned and operated with locally sourced produce and cold drinks in a safe, clean, friendly place to be. And Knox Community Hospital, of course, in the community, for the community. Again, we thank all of our sponsors who allow us to be live and free right here on the OH Report.
Defending KMAC champs, play here.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
More than Crown, we are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
halftime show here with the OH Report. Danville leading this one 30-14 over Worthington Christian, but Worthington Christian certainly showing some signs of life. Let's go ahead and take a look at our halftime stats. So 5 first downs, 45 passing yards, 32 rushing yards for a total of 77 yards, 1 turnover, 6 penalties for a total of 45 penalty yards for Worthington Christian. For Danville, we're looking at 10 first downs, 29 passing yards, 77 rushing yards for a total of 106, 1 turnover, 2 penalties for a total of 15 yards. And it was a theme early on in this game, the issues that Worthington Christian was having with these penalties, but it seems like later on they've cleaned it up a little bit.
And they have for sure, especially in the back half of that second quarter. And we mentioned at the beginning, got to get those jitters out, those first game jitters. You're playing on the road. You're going to have those mistakes, but just don't want to let them continue.
So after the kickoff, ready to play football once more. Danville will start the first drive of the second half at the 25.
Well, the question for Danville is, can they continue this success? You mentioned a former partner of yours. 4 minutes at the end of the second quarter, first 4 minutes of the third quarter set the tone, and that's a perfect way to put it. The first 4 minutes here, once you get down to 8 minutes, where are you at as an offense? You're up by 2 scores, but you continue to want to put your foot on the gas. We saw the Worthington Christian quickly come back from a 16-0 deficit.
So able to light things up. They got it within 2, right? Going with the extra point instead of the 2-point conversion, but able to stay with that consistency. Really 2 big plays, lighting things up. Gabe Long, and then a long touchdown pass to Cam Robinson.
My question will be, where will the depth be? This was a huge question mark for a new head coach, Ron Severance. He kind of mentioned it. They didn't have depth. They had a lot of guys that would get gas, and they would get beat in the third and fourth quarters, but they would be in it in the first and second, which they were. Of course, they're now down by 2 scores, but they were in it for most of the first half. So that will be the question. Where is the conditioning at?
Ball on the 39, Blue Devils own 39. 1st and 10 here in the third quarter. Hackman with 2 wide receivers right and a man on his left hip. 1 lone linebacker and has trouble with it on the ground. It looks like Worthington Christian jumped on top of it. And they do. So first play of the drive, and Worthington Christian has the ball in prime Blue Devil territory.
And that was a huge mistake. Just completely didn't know where he was going with the football. Was already looking up the field, did not have it secured in his arms. As we take another look at it, and he just completely lost it. Worthington Christian did nothing to force that ball out. It was an error made by the offense of Danville.
So now a chance to strike early on here in the third quarter. 11:45 remaining, and already on the Blue Devil 39 as Thomas Hardings puts Long on his right hip. The snap, it pitches out to Long. Long has room, stretching it out and continuing to fight, and brought down just short, I believe, of the first down marker.
We'll see where they spot him as the chains moves, and it's just short, about 3 yards. So 2nd down and 3. And that's a great play by Long. Bounce it to the outside. That's what coaches preach. Get to the outside. If you can get to the outside, you're going to have more leverage. The players aren't there. You can usually try to run up the field. And that's exactly what Long was preached and what he did.
And it's so counterintuitive, I think, as a runner to have to learn, too, because, like, the end zone's that way, but sometimes you have to make that lateral movement to give yourself the option, as Long is brought down hard in the backfield by a dual tackle from Caleb Lucas and Josh Byers.
Caleb Lucas, another guy who's a key contributor on this team. We talked about Josh Byers in this first half. Caleb Lucas looking to have a great second half. Season to go, 120 tackles, 24 of those for loss, and 11 sacks off the edge. He will be a menace for anyone, and you almost have to double team him. If you're Worthington Christian, you got to know exactly where he's at all times on the field.
Something to take into account here on a big 3rd down and 4. Ball on the 33. It'd be a heartbreaker to lose this drive here after such a huge come up after the turnover. The snap, Hardings looks to pass to his left. Man cuts back, finds a receiver, pushes forward. I do think that's going to be enough to get the first down.
And it will. The chains will move. Gets the ball just a little bit in front of him, turns around, gets to the outside, and that's a first down. Worthington Christian continuing to build some momentum here after the fumble.
Great job to fight for that first down, as now we're on the 24, threatening to break into that Blue Devil red zone. Hardings with the man behind him and 3 wide receivers, 1 man in the slot. Puts the man in motion, the snap, hands it off to Long, immediately brought down by who else than Caleb Lucas, who filled that hole perfectly to come up with the tackle.
And there was nowhere Long could go. Even if he got past Lucas, there's another Blue Devil right there. Worthington Christian has to throw the ball now. They had a little bit of success in that first half. We, of course, saw the long pass by Hardings to one of his favorite receivers, Cam Robinson, alongside Jacob Corbin, probably the 2 best players on this team. He has a lot of safety valves, a lot of options. Danville struggled a little bit with the pass in the first half.
So after losing yardage on first down, it's now 2nd and 13 with 9:20 and ticking remaining. Looks to pass, Gabe in front of him towards the end zone, and broken up, almost intercepted, but looking to air it all out for the end zone.
And looked to air it out, had it in the corner, but good job by the cornerback to stay with the route, stay with the runner, put his hands up, and not allow a completion.
Wide receiver, good job as well of finding a little window there. Unfortunately, couldn't come down with it. It would have been a miraculous catch. So tough along that sideline.
Third down and 15. You're probably going to throw it here. If you're Worthington Christian, you could run the ball, but you come out with the half with a punch. You got the fumble. If you're new head coach Ron Severance, just go for it all.
Hardings pressured, the throw drilled as he takes it long. Play blown up by Blake Colopy.
Blake
40
Colopy
tackles last season, looking to add to that total this year.
And Blake Colopy right there, 38 tackles like you mentioned, 2 fumble recoveries as well. That's a big guy out there, 5'8", 200 pounds, a senior, one of the guys they brought back. Now Worthington Christian, it's 4th down. It looks like they're gonna go for it. It's a risky play. You could punt it here. You're probably not gonna kick. You're right at about the 28-yard line.
I think as this clock ticks, you kind of have to start taking risks. I mean, you've got to get this within a couple of scores going into the 4th quarter. We'll see if that risk does pay off. 4th and 14. As there's a flag in the Blue Devil backfield, they call.
Prior to the snap, there's a flag on the play. Delay of game against Worthington Christian.
And a delay of game will push them back 5 more yards. It's now 4th and 19.
Well, you're definitely going for it now. 4th and 19. Even if you give up the turnover here, this is about where they've started most of their drives, at about the 35-yard line. So you kind of would be putting your defense where the Blue Devils have started most of their drives. Now, if this was back at the 50, maybe you don't, because you're right there, or even at the 40. But you're going to have to air it out. You got 2 really good receivers. They're going to play zone here. You got 2 in the back, 2 safeties up high.
Looks to pass, of course. The deep ball cuts back, and it's intercepted. Continuing to run. He's got room. Wrapped up and brought down as there's a flag on the play. Give the credit to Levi Ferre. The 5'5" senior defensive back had 1 interception last year, matched that total this year already.
Well, it was very underthrown as you kind of look at it there. And then the receiver fell down. It looked like he was having a little bit of a jarring session with his cornerback. And they all went to the ground, so that gives the opportunity for Levi Ferry to make the interception. And that's exactly what you want to see. Even though there is a flag called, it was
like
after
a block in the back. Yeah.
It was a block into the back, and even with that, it doesn't go to Worthington Christian because it was after the interception. So that gives the Blue Devils a decent field to work
position,
with.
Yeah. And really on the 35, I mean, sometimes in the red zone, that back out of bounds lines can almost act as a 12th defender against you on the 35. Probably a good idea to air it out towards the end zone on this one, but unfortunately offline. As Hackman rolls out, hit as he throws, incomplete.
And this is a huge drive for Danville. A flag is down. Well, probably will be holding. They're going to look like they're going to walk them back a little bit. So the offensive line going to get the hold, and that makes sense. The quarterback was scrambled out. They probably weren't expecting him to scramble, so because of that, the offensive line is trying to get their guys back, so he's grabbing his jersey to not allow them to get to the quarterback, so that puts them a little bit farther. But what I was saying, Danville, this is a huge drive for them. They're up by 2 scores. This could really put the nail in the coffin. There's still plenty of time left, but up by 3 scores in a game like tonight could really be the definition of a win or a loss.
They'll take over on the 21, 2nd and 10. They did look to pass Hackman again under center. This time they hand it off to Burke. Burke breaks 1 tackle, continues to fight forward, moving feet. And finally brought down. Worthington Christian thinks they got it. And they say it's his. Let's take another look. I'm not so sure about that.
Well, let's see if his knee is down. That's going to be the main factor. Is his knee down? Is his shin down? Is his elbow down?
Oh, he was absolutely down.
Recovered by Worthington Christian. Timeout Danville. They're first of the half.
And it's a tough call to make on the field, but they're going to give it to Worthington Christian. There's just nowhere you could go with that. And that was a good run by Aiden Burke, who's just barreling through the defenders, dragging a pile of Warriors, but just lost handle on the football. And because of that, it'll be Worthington Christian ball. And of course, in high school football, this isn't college, this isn't the NFL. You're not going to get to review that. You don't got VAR.
They did clear the way for playoffs. They can review that. I don't know how that system would take place, but there is protocol in place at least.
So there is something there, and that makes more sense than regular season games. Not to take anything away from those, but in the playoffs, there's so much riding on that. If you make the wrong call, something like that, a fumble, could win or lose a team a game and advance into the states, regionals, whatever it may be.
So Harding's on first down. We'll hand it off back inside as the edge rusher overshoots. It'll be a pickup of a couple as they bring up 2nd down.
Well, didn't Worthington Christian catch a break? He had a huge interception that got them all the way to about the 30-yard line, and then they brought back due to holding, and now the fumble. And it all comes full circle. Worthington Christian needs to strike back.
So checking out and checking in with the play. Now 15 seconds remain on that play clock. 7:13 and ticking game clock. On the Blue Devils 33, they were here as recent as a drive ago, but unable to convert. 2nd and 9, Hardings looks to pass. The throw is risky into double coverage and over his head. Luckily over his head. Otherwise, that likely would have been intercepted.
And that was a good job to almost just throw it over his head, because there's 2 cornerbacks right there, right behind him, right in front of the receiver. If that's on target, you have a chance for one of those 2 players to make the interception. So with the overthrow, you just got to put up your hand, try to deflect it down, try to do whatever it takes. And a sigh of relief for the starting quarterback, Harting. he has an opportunity to live another down.
So finally back to the huddle inside of 10 seconds on play clock, 7 minutes on the game clock here in the third quarter. 3rd and 9, ball on the 33. Looks to pass deep towards the end zone on the left side into double coverage once more. It's going to be a pass interference, and I do think that was correct as he was absolutely smothered.
As we take a look at the replay, I would agree on first glance, and even looking at it again, there was just nowhere for him to go. It was right on target. It's not like it was overthrowing. He had no chance to get that ball. And the quarterback didn't even turn his head around. He didn't even look back to see if the ball was coming. So he's just putting his hands here, doesn't know what's going on, and immediately a flag is thrown in your direction.
And I think some situational awareness there, knowing that you have the man advantage. He's throwing into double coverage towards the end zone. You can maybe take a little bit of a safer play because you have another bailout option behind that wide receiver.
And you can use the leverage as a receiver, maybe slow down a little bit, try to get them off guard, try to force a little bit of contact to make that pass interference. Because of that, you have a first down, and what a series did not look good for Worthington Christian.
And so the Danville defense has absolutely come alive and shut down any hope of running that ball the way they were in the first half, as long as brought down by a cluster of blue jerseys.
And you just need to go to the dink and dunks. You don't need to go for all these crazy passes. Of course, you have Robinson and Corbin who can make those grabs. Maybe just a little out route to your tight end. Haven't seen a lot of Luke Hermes, who's their starting tight end, had over 250 yards a year ago and a touchdown, which is a very good thing for a tight end. Maybe try to get him involved. Work in your running backs as well. Just a little dink and dunks to get this offensive going.
So on the 21, it's 2nd and 13. Rolling out, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Absolutely walloped there towards the line of scrimmage.
And good job to make sure he threw it forward. If you quick glance at that, well, is it a fumble? No, it's not a fumble. His arm was moving forward, which means that he was intending to pass the ball. If they would have gotten this, he's cocking it back. That's probably a fumble. There was a receiver in the area, so good thing for Hardings to get out of that situation just with an incomplete pass and not a fumble.
Good awareness there, knowing that he's completely surrounded. And I mean, I think this is something that we were talking about in the beginning of the game, is trying to get outside of that linebacker and that linebacker in that line box, because that's exactly where they're dominating. They're struggling to get it up the middle. 1 on the play clock, 6 minutes left on the clock, throws it towards the wheel, able to find him. Caleb Long wrapped up and brought down right around the 14-yard line.
A dink and dunk pass, exactly what we talked about. A little dink and dunk. Just get it out to the running back, get a bunch of yards. They're going to go for it. You're right there inside the 20. Why wouldn't you when you're down by 2 scores? Worthington Christian knocking on the door again. You're starting to see the offensive line break down a lot. Danville's starting to get pressure on the corners. You're forcing Hardings to move up in the box, and that allows the opportunity for Josh Byers and the linebackers to come forward. And he's been lucky not to allow anything to happen and keep this drive alive. The offense needs to stay solid here in this possession.
So Hardings on a big 4th and 6 on the 14-yard line. Unable to convert on the last drive. This time it would make all the difference. The snap, looks to throw, rolling to his left, throws it over the middle, finds a man on the completion, fighting forward. We'll see if he does end up crossing that first down marker. He's close.
And they're going to give it to him. The chains are going to be set down. So right inside the 10-yard line, Worthington Christian doing what we said they needed to do. Just those quick passes, And Danville can't stop it. They've been trying to run the zone, so you're finding those gaps. Worthington Christian just completely bailing out on the run game. They said, well, that's not working for us. We're not going to be complacent. We're just going to take what we can get.
So now on the 8, 1st and goal. 4:40 and ticking remaining here in the third. Puts the wide receiver in motion behind him. Robinson on the run, rolls out, finds him in the backfield. Completed pass, rolling towards the edge, wrapped up around the ankles, fighting towards the goal line, and brought down just short. It will be a gain, but brings up 2nd down all the same.
You get a little bit more, just trying to go outside this time. The running back runs around. You run this little flat route, try to get it out to him. They had the edge rushers there and had the linebackers to cover him up, but you still get a gain, and that's progress.
And what was really a flashy game early on is turning into a war of attrition here. Hardings has a man behind him, 3 wide receivers to his right, hands it off to Long. Long finds a hole in the middle, fighting towards the goal line, and he does cross for a Warrior touchdown. Score now 30-20 with 4:22 here in the third quarter.
And there was a first effort by a tackler from the Blue Devils. He shrugs that off, and everyone kind of just lets off because they know he's going to walk into the end zone. That was a lot of clock eaten off. He started at 12 minutes, now under 4.5. This game starts to get interesting as Worthington Christian continues to close the gap again and again.
Lining up for the point after to put him within 9. And it's through. So we're going to take a break here. Score now 21-30 in favor of Danville. 4:22 remaining here in the third. Stay with us for the rest of this competitive contest.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
Bryce Coder, Micah Flack with the OH Report, joining you here in the third quarter. As Worthington Christian kicks it away to Danville, fielded right around the 5-yard line on a well-kicked ball, bounces out towards the left side. This is what they're so good at, is finding room, and finally brought down at the 32-yard line where the Blue Devils will begin their drive.
Can Danville respond again? This is where they've been at time and time again so far in this becoming a war of attrition. It was a high-powered offense in the first half. Now we're starting to see things slow down to a halt in the second half. But Danville would let Worthington Christian come back. A bone-headed mistake, a couple fumbles, an interception, whatever it may be, would let the Warriors back in, and then they'd immediately respond. Can they do that again?
Hackman, the snap, takes it himself, finds room, he's off the edge, he's got speed, passing the 40, passing the 30, and where he eventually runs out of bounds. Make it a 58-yard rush by Jacob Hackman.
And Worthington Christian just getting fooled again. They give it off to fake it to the running back down the left side. The quarterback realizes that he has the opportunity, and Hackman goes down the right sideline, takes it to about the 35 before going out of bounds. That's a good play by the quarterback to read what the defense is doing. What are the edge rushers doing? What is the linebackers doing? He saw that they were going to move to the left. They were going to follow the running back, so he cuts it outside, and immediately you're back in Warriors territory.
4:04 remaining here in the third quarter. Hackman puts a man in motion. He's taking it himself one more time, but this time met at the line of scrimmage for a pickup of about 1. That'll bring up second down.
Try to do it again here, but this time up the middle. Worthington Christian read it well, and they get the stop. Now a Warrior down on the field.
And stretching him out, always problem week 1, those cramps, getting back into conditioning, and especially warm and balmy here too, losing a lot of fluids because of the conditions.
Yeah, fall football has not started yet. That will come shortly enough, but we're still playing in August, and August is always a scorcher in the Buckeye State.
So this will bring up 2nd and 9 on the 29-yard line of the Warriors. 3:45 and ticking remaining here in the third quarter. A man on either side of him. Hackman hands it off to his left-hand side, continuing to fight up the middle. And finally brought down, I believe it was Josh Byers on the run.
A game that was going to be 2 or 3 turns into 5 or 6 because he just bulldozes, puts his head down, and runs through the Worthington Christian defenders. Just can't wrap him up, and that's a good, solid chunk of yards.
So 3rd and 4. Threatening to break down the door of the Warriors' red zone. Inside of 3 minutes, the snap, Hackman hands it off, and immediately Burke is met at the line of scrimmage.
And Hackman thought about maybe keeping it himself on the option, but did not let him run up the middle. He was immediately met at the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 4th down. One of the few times we've seen Danville on 4th down tonight.
4th down and 6. Even if you turn the ball over, you give it to them at about the 25-yard line. And Worthington Christian, their last series was not productive at all. You feel confident in your defense regardless of what would happen.
Clock ticking. Hackman alone in the backfield, although we have seen him run out of a lone backfield before. Instead, it's a shovel pass. Oh my gosh, and Byers unable to come up with that one as he was all the way home. It's like a Tim Tebow kind of thing.
Worthington Christian read the run all the way. They sent everyone up the gap, and you had Byers streaking. It was almost a little jump pass. He catches that. It's a walk into the end zone. You can dance into the end zone. No one's catching you. And whoa, what a sigh of relief for Worthington Christian. The fans, a huge gasp at what happened. But that could have been a turning point in this game. Now Worthington Christian has the ball. If they go down and score, a lot of people are going to be thinking about that play.
I think so. 2 minutes and 11 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. So a lot of time for the Warriors to work with to mount a comeback if that is indeed in the cards. Sends a man out in front, a touch pass in front of him, continuing with a full head of steam. Pickup of, looks like about 5, bring up 2nd down.
2nd down, still got plenty of time. You have a full another quarter after this. You don't need to rush. And you're down by 9. That'll be a question to figure out for Worthington Christian. If you come back into this game, do you start going for those 2-point conversions, or do you keep going for the 1, hoping that will get you even closer and eventually you can just take the lead, something they will maybe have to consider depending on how this drive plays out.
So make it 2nd and 5 here on their own 31. 3 linebackers in the box for the Blue Devils as they run it right up the middle once again, and stuffed at the line.
There was a little bit of a hole there, then immediately it closed, and there was nowhere to go for Gabe Long.
Now 3rd and 3. So some work to be done here if they want to keep this momentum going. They've got a long way down towards the end zone, but it all begins right here on these next couple of plays as they look to pick up a new set of downs.
I think if you run it here, it's 4th and 1, you probably go for it.
Yeah.
You're down by 8 or 9. You know, Worthington Christian has not been there a lot in this second half. They had that touchdown, but it's really started off by a fumble.
There's 4 seconds on the play clock.
They're going to have to call a timeout.
And they do, in fact, burn one. So with 7 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, we'll resume on a 3rd and 3 on their own 31. Danville leading this one 30-21 over Worthington Christian. Stay with us.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
So now a 3rd and 3 scenario here at Municipal Stadium as Danville is holding on to a 9-point lead over Worthington Christian with only 37 seconds remaining here in the 3rd. Hardings puts a man in motion. High snap, but able to come down with it. The throw towards the sideline is incomplete. So they were looking for a low pass.
Just looking for that out route. It was a high snap, but he wanted to roll out to the right anyway. There was no one there. Everyone was locked up. You're going to go for it here. It's 4th and 3. It's a really risky scenario. If it pays off, it could be huge towards the end of this game. But if you give it up to Danville right at the 25, 30-yard line, they're going to be right in position to score, and then you're going to be down by 2 scores again going into the 4th quarter.
So much riding, it seems like, on these few drives that we've seen in the last couple of plays. I mean, really turning the balance of this game. What was a game that we thought Danville was starting to run away with again, and we've hit 0 on the play clock once more. So it's another delay of game after burning the time out.
Well, that was a huge mistake. It goes from 4th and short to 4th and medium, and 4th and 8 isn't something you want to see either. You're still going to go for it, but back-to-back times.
I mean, after you call the timeout, you know, confusing that you wouldn't have what you want to run already.
And if you're the head coach of Worthington Christian, you're not happy about that. You got to get out the huddle fast. Get the play from the sideline, get it to the guys. You're up to the line and you're snapping the ball.
In a play where they were arguably going for it, I mean, it would have given Danville really good field position if they did recover it. But now you're in a situation where you have to punt, and they do end up getting one away. Hopping right on top of it are the Warriors. And with 25 seconds remaining, the Blue Devils will take over.
25 seconds. Blue Devils have the ball. They had a little bit of stagnation in their past couple drives, and a lot of it's been their faults. A couple of fumbles in this game have changed the direction or changed the tide of how this game has progressed and allowed Worthington Christian to get within 1 score again. If you're the head coach, if you're Matt Blum, you're telling your running backs and your receivers, hold on to that ball, 2 hands, whatever it takes. We've already had 2 fumbles this game. We cannot let this happen again.
Now Hackman with the man in the backfield, snaps it. Burke takes the carry, fights forward, and is brought down right at the line of scrimmage, maybe for a gain of 1, but it'll be close.
Gain of about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. 10 seconds on the clock. They're going to let this go. So we'll head to the 4th quarter.
And indeed they will. So stay with us for 4th quarter action. The conclusion of this ball game. We'll also be announcing our MVP pick. Stay with us right here on the OH Report.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
Hackman on the carry. And a yard for
momentum riding on this drive. We're able to get the stop against Worthington Christian, force the punt after 2 major mistakes. You called the time. This drive could be important.
Jacob Hackman completing the pass as they barrel over the 40 for the first down.
And a great job by Hackman. Roll out of the pocket to his right, sees the open receiver, quickly hits him. He turns around, runs up the field, gets a first down. And now they're back into Warriors territory. This touchdown is huge. As this fourth quarter continues to wind down, anything that you can get will be crucial. Problem for the Warriors, they're still technically down by 2 scores because of the fact even a 2-point conversion would not do anything for them.
Hackman finds a man, Burke barreling downfield, has to follow a block, cuts back inside and gets himself a touchdown. And so say less, the Danville Blue Devils on the board once again.
Danville goes with the screen. We haven't seen that all day. Goes out to the left. Worthington Christian didn't expect it. Aiden Burke has the blockers upfield, makes a man miss. He walks into the end zone. And Burke, what a night he's had so far.
And following Greg Wilson all the way through that block, but a good job of recognizing that Wilson had overrun that one and cutting back inside for the touchdown.
And a good job by Burke. A rushing touchdown and now a receiving touchdown.
So lining up for the 2-point conversion to make it a 17-point ball game. Runs out towards the side. Looks like a flag in the backfield. But he does cross the goal line. We'll see what they...
And they're motioning towards holding. We'll see if that's what they call. They do. Because that will back them up. And they'll still go for it. Even if it's a 17-point lead, you're still up by 2 scores. Even if you don't get this 2-point conversion, you're up by 2 scores. And with 10.5 minutes remaining, it's going to be a tight one for Worthington Christian to try to get back in it.
Well, I mean, maximum efficiency. Like, you are running out of plays. You can't have too many more burn plays where you're working it down to 3rd and 4th down every single drive, trying to convert that first down. You need big plays. Hackman throws towards the backfield, ends up finding a man hit, tries the lateral, and another flag as Danville jumps right on top of it.
And that was a boneheaded move by the player there. Don't need to do that. You don't need the lateral. Even if you don't get the 2 points, you're still up by 2 scores.
Well, it's one of those things we see in the NFL. It seems like more and more where maybe a running back gets caught up in the backfield and they make this pass, the guy busts off a 70-yard run because no one's expecting it. But there's a lot of things that have to go right in order for that to work out successfully.
And that's something you want to see there. You know, go against Danville, but it's not really that big of an issue. You still got the touchdown. You've already made a couple 2-point conversions. You're still up by 2 scores. Now Worthington Christian has to be a little bit more on the money with this. And their last time going into the 4th quarter, if you remember, they wasted about 8 minutes of the clock. They got it down from 12 all the way to 4.5. You can't do that again. You're down by 2 scores, so you have to have a little bit of urgency. Not a lot, still over 10 minutes to play, but something that has to be thought about in everyone's mind.
I think the big one with that one, making it a 15-point game now, it is only technically 2 scores, so it keeps things a little bit more in bounds for Worthington Christian.
Now with the kickoff, it's enforced on the kickoff. Worthington Christian has an opportunity, a big return would greatly benefit the Warriors campaign.
10:36 remaining here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff is up, and it's a good one. Fielded around the 5, a full head of steam. Finds a hole, but absolutely walloped. Number 7, Bryson Burke, the 5'10" freshman, with a devastating hit.
Now Worthington Christian, under 10.5 minutes to go. It's a huge drive. You turn this over, you give it a 4th down. Danville can start to try to run out the clock at least a little bit more. Still be plenty of time. But it's a team that loves to run it, and they can get a couple first downs. So you're going to waste at least a couple minutes off the clock. Worthington Christian needs to think about that, how they can respond. They've gotten in within 2 points of Danville, but they need to score at least twice and make at least 1 2-point conversion to be back in the conversation.
And you get the sense that a big play has to happen. I mean, I know the avenues for the pass have dried up lately as there's a throw over the middle, and he does find a man for a first down, and he's brought down for a pickup of about 13. So as we say it, a quick pickup there.
A good pickup, able to scramble away, find the opening in the middle. You get the first down, you move the chains.
Dominic Ortega on the pickup, the 5'4" sophomore. So after moving the chains, Hastings will look at 4 wide receivers, 2 linebackers in the box, 3 men on the line. The snap, hands it off inside, but right there to blow things up. That's Mr. Caleb Lucas on the tackle. Looks like for a loss.
And a great job by Caleb Lucas. He was left unblocked coming off the edge. The running back had nowhere to go as he wraps him up and tackles him down as the clock continues to wind.
Inside of 9 minutes and 30 seconds now as the Warriors are on their own 45 and threaten to cross into Blue Devil territory here on 2nd down, 2nd and 11 to be exact. 2 wide receivers on either side of him. A man behind him puts him in motion as we've seen all night long. The snap and deep ball towards the left-hand side. Robinson is there, but incomplete. I think that was Robinson.
And it was Cam Robinson on the intended target. And that was just a little bit overthrown. He had him in stride. Cam Robinson actually had a step on the 2 guys chasing him. If it's right in the breadbasket, that's a huge pickup.
And I mean, completely burned those outside guys. Just a little bit of an overthrow there, but he would have been to the races. Instead, it's 3rd down and 11. We've looked to the pass several times. The run doesn't seem to be so much of an option anymore. 2 inside receivers, or 2 inside linebackers, 2 outside. The throw is short. Gabe Long, the intended receiver. That brings up 4th down.
He had Gabe Long too. There was a Blue Devil streaking down. That was number 22 of the Blue Devils, Aiden Burke, trying to make the tackle. But you could have gotten to Gabe Long in time, allowing him to maybe try to bounce out to the outside. But now it's 4th and 11, under 9 minutes to play. If you don't convert this, Danville gets the ball, they score again, the game's probably over.
You're probably expecting them to take a good 3-4 minutes off the clock as well, I would believe. That's something that this Danville team is so good at. Despite the turnovers, they are so good at hanging on to the ball. Pressure's there. Hardings throws it over the middle, and it's intercepted off of the tip. Aiden Burke comes down with this one.
We just talked about Burke coming off the edge undefended. He's there to make the play off the tip. Pass was intended for Cam Robinson. So many black jerseys around him. There was nowhere to go with that ball. And that was a tough play made by the quarterback that ended up in an interception. Now Danville starts right at the 45-yard line. Gonna waste the clock like you mentioned, Bryce. And a possible touchdown could seal the deal.
It's so tough going across the middle. I mean, it seems like such a safe bet, but there's just a wall of Blue Devils. Snap looking to take it inside. Hackman wrapped up and brought down at the line of scrimmage, brings up second down. I don't think there was a gain.
Now Worthington Christian and Danville each have 2 timeouts. So Worthington Christian, if they get to another out here and another out in the third, they could try to possibly use those timeouts, get the ball back. Danville wants to waste as much clock as possible, get a couple first downs, and bring it all the way within 5 minutes.
Hackman under center, 2 men behind him, a man on either side, sends a man in motion, the handoff to Burke. Burke finds a hole, bounces forward, brought down for a pickup of about 8.
Just gets tripped up by the shoelaces, be just a couple yards short. A good job to make the tackle by Worthington Christian.
Just trying to suck the life out of this Worthington Christian team. And the Blue Devils, if they do eventually come home with the victory here, certainly some things to be proud of, but I think also some things to take into the film room as well to work on for the future seasons. They played a great game, but still I think some room for some improvement here after week 1. Handoff to Burke. Burke fighting forward and is table-topped at about the 35-yard line. Count him the first down.
A great job by Burke right up the middle. Worthington Christian gets starting to get tired. The defense has been on the field constantly, and the run is starting to take a toll.
Ball placed at the 37-yard line. First and 10, Danville.
Inside of 7 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter as the clock continues to tick. Play clock at 12. As the Blue Devils are back to the line of scrimmage, 3 wide receivers wide left. Hackman alone in the backfield. We've seen him throw and we've seen him run from this position before. Takes a snap, decides to run it himself on a QB design run, bouncing outside, wrapped up around the ankles, and a pickup of about 3.
Able to just make the tackle, get there in time, and hold them to a gain of about 2. Now Danville just really wasting the clock. You can start to tell they're being slow in the huddle, winding the play clock all the way down to 2 or 3 seconds. They're not in a rush. They're up by 2 scores, and they have this game currently. They are in the driver's seat.
Absolutely, and a great one to put in their back pocket. And for Worthington Christian, I mean, you know, despite not coming away with the victory, if that's how things do turn out, you've got to feel proud coming against this KMAC defending team that is so solid. A couple of questions in the way of Cole DeLauder and Wes Weckesser as they graduated out, but Aiden Burke and Jacob Hackman certainly stepping up as Aiden Burke breaks a couple of tackles, continues to barrel forward for the first down.
Continues to barrel forward, continues to be the top player so far this game. It's been a real force for Danville. But like you said, if you're Worthington Christian, this is a very young team. You heard from it. You know what Dan Severance has said about his team. The Warriors are young. They only have 5 seniors on the team that got playing experience last season. This is a young team, a young group of guys. There's a lot of potential.
Now with the clock ticking, about to hit 5 minutes, Hackman takes it out wide towards his right. He falls back even further towards the backfield, trying to fight towards that line of scrimmage. Looks like he'll be pushed out about a yard short of it.
And it's week number 1. There's still a lot of things to work on for both these teams. A lot of flags were thrown, a lot of turnovers. But if you're Worthington Christian, this is the season you want to try to make a splash. Holt, Robinson, Kirkley, Hermes, your top tight end, and Corbin, 4 of your top 5 receivers are all graduating. So this is a season that you want to try to send them off in a happy and good spirits.
And you would think the sore spot, the thing that Worthington Christian is certainly going to work on is there's a wheel pass brought down at the ankles Josh Byers picks up the gain. But Worthington Christian, certainly the penalties, like you were saying, in some really key spots, giving up key yardage. We saw a situation where they were considering going for it because of the delay of game. They had to punt. Different situations where they're giving the Blue Devils better field position because of sort of mindless plays, right? But for the Blue Devils, they're going to be looking at hanging on to the football. I mean, has been a sore spot for them all night long. Aiden Burke gave up a couple of them so far tonight. One of them I think he was down for. But still, not even giving the referees that option to make that call or make that decision because you've got it snugly in your hands. I think it's going to be a focal point for this Danville team. Four men behind him. Looks like there'll be a timeout called. So we'll take a quick break. Danville leading this one 36-21 over Worthington Christian with 4:12 remaining here in the fourth quarter. One timeout for the Blue Devils, 2 remaining for Worthington Christian. Stay with us.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
Ball on the Blue Devil, or on the Warrior 15 as the Blue Devils threaten to score one more time. Hands it up the middle. Burke wrapped up and brought down.
And the Blue Devils are certain to score here as Worthington Christian just looks gas. Just giving up big play after big play, chunk after chunk. As the Warriors just trying to hold on to anything, but have not been able to. They've gotten really close, though, to Danville, and I think that shows a lot. It's week number 1, so you have to take that into account. But Worthington Christian put up a lot of fight for, I'd say, the first 3 quarters.
Hackman rolling out, thinking about passing, keeping it himself. Moves towards the sideline. We'll stop the clock at 3:37 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Just gets out of bounds, moving the chains up a little bit. 2nd and 9. Danville just going slow, just playing at their pace, playing at their tempo, and doing kind of whatever they want to do.
So 2nd and 8 scenario on the 9-yard line. Hackman with Burke on his left. Snap, hands it off to Burke. Burke pounds it up the middle and crosses the goal line for another touchdown. Aiden Burke.
Aiden Burke with another touchdown, just continues to put the points on for the Blue Devils.
So with 3:31 remaining, it's now 42-21. 21-point lead for the Blue Devils. It was as close as 2 after all was said and done in the second quarter. But truly striding above and beyond, and that is the hallmark of this Blue Devil program, is they will wear you down play after play. They'll pick up yardage any way they can. Hackman rolls out for the 2-point conversion. It'll be close, and they say he gets it. So now 44-21, 3:31 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Stay with us for the conclusion of this ball game.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today, the better way to service.
Back here in the fourth quarter, 3:31 remaining as the Blue Devils kick this one underway. Worthington Christian has some trouble as it's a muffed kick return, but comes up with it, fighting for yardage and brought down right before the 21.
See a flag thrown on the play. A little bit of sparring going on between the two teams.
It's wondering a little bit of extracurricular.
And they'll call it on Danville. So that'll move the chains a little bit. Worthington Christian. It'll be unsportsmanlike conduct, so that will move the chains 15 yards. Sets them up a little bit further, but you're down by 23. 3 minutes and 24 to go. Of course, if you're Worthington Christian, you're just playing now to work on things. You know this game is out of reach. You don't ever want to think that. But this game is starting to wind down. Now you just want to work on things. Open up the playbook. Work on some things that maybe you wanted to run in practice you just didn't here.
Hardings with 4 wide receivers. The snap. Looks to pass towards the left side. Robinson comes down with this one. It'll be a gain of a couple.
Robinson gets down on the ground to make the catch. Gets about 2 yards. The clock continues to run. Danville have 44 points. A season ago, they averaged 43. So hitting that mark again. Of course, the season will only get tougher as opponents get more and more time to look at film and hone their craft. But the first week, putting up 44 points, if that's what the final score is always a good thing.
Now second down, 2:49 remaining here in the fourth quarter and ticking. So we are nearing the end of this ball game. Defensive line spreads the snap, and the spread working against him this time as Long carries it for about 5.
Gonna pick up about 5. It's gonna be 3rd and short. Decide if they want to run here. Definitely have the opportunity to for sure go for it on 4th down if they'd like to as well.
A lot of variance. I think they're going to try to get a look at what this defensive package is going to look like before they ultimately make that decision. Because they do have that versatility of taking that linebacker out of there and playing pretty competently on the ends. The pass is behind, and it'll bring up 4th and 3rd.
They'll go for the play here. Decide if they want to pass, decide if they want to run. You get a 1st down here, under 2 minutes. You run it a couple times. You could end the game if you wanted to do that. I don't think Worthington Christian wants to do that. But you could. It's Danville trying to get them off the field, and if Danville converts this on 4th down, they're going to kneel it the rest of the way, or as much as they can, try to stall as much clock, maybe run it a couple times.
Hardings now with 3 wide receivers and a running back on his left hip. The snap looks to pass. The blitz is there. This one well short by about 3-4 yards, and it's a turnover on downs. Danville will take over.
Danville takes over. You're inside the Warriors' territory. I don't think they care, though. They're going to run it probably a couple times here, waste as much clock as possible, and head into the locker rooms victorious.
hard-fought victory for them. Definitely some adversity to overcome, but I think early season, that's kind of what you want. You know, the stakes aren't terribly high. You feel like you're the better team. Maybe a hiccup or two is okay, so you learn how to work through these things as a team.
But there were some signs of life from Worthington Christian. This was a team last year that gave up 33 points a game, went 4-7, but Thomas Hardings looks very good at quarterback. He made a really good throw, and there's some opportunities.
And very first play, and away goes the Blue Devils. That was Siren Wallace, his first career touchdown.
Siren Wallace able to get the touchdown, bounces it out to the outside, and now they put a big 5-0 on the scoreboard.
There's one for the memory book for that young man, Siren Wallace, only a freshman. 5'7", 145, using that speed to escape outside, and he was home all the way.
I don't think the score will reflect it, but I think Worthington Christian played a very good game for the first 3 quarters.
I think so. A team that we're going to see again in a couple of weeks. I'll be excited to see that the adjustments that they make after playing a really good football team like Danville. And Caleb Lucas will line up for the point after. And no good as he tries to sneak it through the corner. It'll be 50-21. Stay with us for the remaining minute 38 of this ballgame.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
This Danville squad alive here in the fourth quarter. They got the Danville chance going. They scored once more, now a 29-point lead, just a point shy of that running clock. The kickoff is a good one, fielded around the 3-yard line and clobbered in the mess of players.
Walensky on the return. Met by Nolan Ridgway and Chris Mosher.
So with a minute 33, Worthington Christian's going to take over a couple of substitutions for the Blue Devils.
Well, we have an opportunity with a minute and a half to work things, try to get a score on the board. Worthington Christian would love to try to get one more on the scoreboard before the game ends.
Timeout called, I believe. And indeed, the Blue Devils will use their last timeout.
And it looks like they had too many men on the field. You can see people trying to run off right as they're about to snap the ball.
It's like trying to get some of their younger guys some snaps, but not really clear who was coming off, who was coming on there.
Want to let those young guys get some experience. Could be very crucial down the line, especially with injuries. You just never know in this game where they might be.
So a minute 33 remaining here. I do think this is going to be the one and only time that we cover Danville this year. Absolute honor to be here. Beautiful facilities. I covered them a lot last year. Absolutely honored to be a part of that magical Final Four run that they were a part of. Huge thanks to those seniors that not only had a fantastic season, but made my season also fantastic, my very first football season. So huge thanks to the Danville fans as this game winds out. If we don't see you again this year, I hope to see you again next year.
And they're a very talented squad. This is easily a squad that could go perfect again and make it all the way to the championship game for a third year in a row. Of course, Ironton has been their arch nemesis the past couple years. This is a very talented Danville squad. Like they said, like the head coach, Matt Plum, loves to do, is run the ball, and that's exactly what they're known for.
57 seconds remaining. Hardings airs it out deep into triple coverage. Cameron Robinson, the intended receiver, but too many hands in the kitchen there, broke that one up.
It's a little too much there. Got 50 seconds now on the clock. See what they decide to go for. Second down and 10, still plenty of time. Worthington Christian not trying to go down without a fight.
Really a consolation drive if they are able to convert that touchdown, but I think it would mean a lot to them to pick up that extra few points. 4 wide receivers, a snap, hands it off to Long inside. Long breaks one off, gets through the secondary into the backfield and brought down inside of Blue Devil territory.
Right inside Blue Devil territory, gets a nice chunk of yards. We're in the final minute of the game. Chains move, the clock will start.
So clocks continue to tick, approaching 30 seconds and counting. 1st and 10 on the Blue Devil 47. Harding's the snap, the pitch to Long. Brought down for a gain of a couple, but good job of fighting his way out of the backfield. As we are inside of 10 seconds, be sure to stay with us to see our Week 1 MVP player of the game right here on the OH Report, and stay with us for the post-game show as the clock expires. The Danville Blue Devils victors in Week 1, 50-21 over the Worthington Christian Warriors.
Worthington Christian 21.
Defending KMAC champs, play here.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Bryce with the OH Report, and I am here with the Killbuck Savings Bank MVP player of the game, Aiden Burke, who was electric tonight. 23 carries, 105 rushing yards for 3 touchdowns. Congratulations, Aiden.
Thank you.
So, you know, last year you had some pretty big shoes to fill. Cole DeLauder, a mean blocker, a mean runner too. What are you thinking this year? What preparations are you taking for this team?
I mean, I'm doing the best I can. Obviously, I filled big shoes last couple of years. I mean, there's some good running backs. I'm just, you know, trying to take a step up, be one of those great running backs.
And so, you know, going from support player, and that's something we talked about last year on the broadcast a lot, is when they had kind of exhausted their options with Weckeser and DeLauder, they really turned to you and you stepped up. What's that transition been like from support player into that leader role that you're currently serving in now?
I mean, it's kind of the same thing in a way. I'm just trying to do my job, trusting the coaches, trusting the teammates around me. I'm just having fun, really.
And, you know, coming into the season, such a fantastic season last year, the undefeated, taking it all the way to the Final Four. Huge expectations this season as well. How are you dealing with some of those stresses that come with that territory?
I mean, I don't think we're really stressing about it. I mean, we're reloading. I mean, it's been said everywhere. Everyone knows already. We're coming. We're coming back.
Confidence. And we were looking at some of the standings that were happening, and certainly another KMAC championship run could be in the cards for you all. Anyone you want to shout out tonight?
I want to shout out my whole line, Greg Wilson, Lana Lyons, Owen Gromberg, Blake Colopy, and Tyson Payne. And I want to shout out my coaches, Coach Colopy, Coach Bloom. I mean, they're tough on me, but they love me, and I acknowledge that. And that's it. And my mom. Don't forget my mom.
So much trust on this team. Sounds like you have a really great support system behind you. Congratulations, Aiden, our Killbuck Saving Bank MVP player of the game with those 145 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Defending KMAC champs, play here.
At the Killbuck Savings Bank, you can expect great products and service from a fellow Knox County Chamber member. Now offering premier card processing solutions and services, ensuring the business owners understand their credit card processing fees. We have a wide selection of card processing solutions that provide lower fees, faster payment, additional security, exceptional marketing features, and help to improve your business operations and customer experience.
More than Crown. We are real people behind Crown of Dublin. Our service team is full of experts dedicated to providing your vehicle with care.
Using only premium parts and equipment, schedule an appointment with Crown CDJR today. The better way to service.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
for the Knox Community Hospital post-game show. Danville, the big victors in this one, 50-21. After a contest that was hotly contested in the first half, started to run away with it a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at our final stats. 9 first downs, 137 passing yards, 117 rushing yards for a grand total of 254 total yards for Worthington Christian. 3 turnovers, 9 penalties, 55 penalty yards. For the Blue Devils, 12 first downs, 107 passing yards, 326 rushing yards for 433 total yards on the day. 3 turnovers, 5 penalties for a grand total of 40 penalty yards. So in this one, I mean, certainly something to write home about for the Blue Devils. A high-scoring game, something that's very much in their wheelhouse. Perhaps signs of something or what's to come for the rest of the season.
And if you're Matt Blum, you're doing exactly what you want to do. Running the football. Had 46 attempts, 326 rushing yards. He said it before, and he'll say it again and again. This is a team that will continue to run the football, even against a team like Worthington Christian that has had trouble covering the pass. They didn't do that. They stuck to what they knew, and it worked out perfectly as Aiden Burke had a fantastic game.
And for Worthington Christian, I mean, certainly some points that you can be happy about taking home with you. I mean, not necessarily the best night, but there are some points where they really stepped above this Danville defense and took them by surprise. A run, a certainly deep pass that took hold, and the way of Cam Robinson. So certainly something, not all hope is lost for this Warriors squad.
And definitely not. There were some question marks coming into this game. Who was going to be the quarterback? Well, it ended up being Thomas Hardings. He did really well, had a really good throw, as you mentioned, to Cam Robinson, 42 yards down the field, just a string-lace catch. And then you had the running back, Gabe Long, a question mark I had going into this game. How was he going to be as a sophomore year ago? He only appeared in 3 games, had 3 attempts, didn't really know how he would factor into this varsity team, but he made the most of it, had a couple of really good attempts, got a really good breakaway touchdown, and it worked out well. This is a Worthington Christian team that has a lot going for it. And of course, as we mentioned before in the pregame, their motto is you have to believe in it. And they believed in it for the first 3 quarters. This was a team that really hung with one of the top teams in this area, and they made it count for most of the game.
So wrapping things up, we'd like to take a second to thank all of our sponsors who allow us to be live and free right here on the OH Report. The Bottleneck Bar and Grill, family owned and operated with locally sourced produce and cold drinks and a safe, clean, friendly place to be. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community. The Killbuck Savings Bank, community banking, it's what we do, it's who we are every single day. Danville Feed and Supply, your local source for all of your hardware, lumber, and feed needs. Knox Community Health, committed to the health of the community by promoting healthy lifestyles, preventing illness, and protecting the community. Crown, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Dublin. Some want it to happen. Some wish it would happen. Crown makes it happen. Wrapping things up, I'm Bryce Coder, your director and play-by-play commentator, joined by the one, the only Micah Flack on color commentary, doing an incredible job tonight. Joined for the very first time as well is Nick Coder, previously on Stats, got the big promotion to our camera operator for this game. We thank him for his time. Those at home, please be safe, take care of yourselves, and take care of others. We'll catch you next time.